And so his seat neighbor teaches him the method of foot fisting to relax.
Yes.
I'm not wrong.
You're not?
No.
You're about to engage in a conversation you know or care nothing about.
Welcome back to the Rewind Guys podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Andrews, joined by Mike Andrus.
What's up?
And Russell Andrews.
That was like the laziest one yet.
This week, we're talking about Die Hard. This is an action thriller, rated R, with a runtime of 2 hours and 12 minutes. Was released July 15th of 1988, filmed here in the U.S., had a budget of $28 million and made $83 million in the box office. This movie stars Bruce Willis as John McClane, Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber, and was directed by John McTiernan. Okay, Russell, the rotation put the holiday movie pick up to you. And I think I said that I wanted one that wasn't like your stereotypical holiday movie, and you chose Die Hard. Why did you choose Die Hard?
I couldn't really think of any Christmas movie that I like very much.
Fair enough.
And, you know, Bruce Willis, so can't go wrong.
I feel like...
You probably could. He's had some real stinkers recently.
Has he?
I feel like he has.
Because when I think of Bruce Willis, I think there's only like 3 movies that come to mind. Like, okay, if you think of Bruce Willis, not pointing out any of the Die Hard movies, what comes to mind?
Sixth Sense.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking that one. I wasn't even thinking that one at all. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I feel like he's done a lot of really weird, like almost no-name action movies.
Oh.
I can't remember any of them.
Because when I think Bruce Willis, I think of Death Becomes Her. You guys probably don't know.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. I think of Die Hard with a Vengeance, but
What?
it's going against what I just said. That is going against what I just said. I'm sorry.
The fuck?
But then other than that, I think I just picture him in Pulp Fiction.
I've never seen it.
Really?
Yeah. Haven't we gone through this before?
Mate, probably. Yes. Oh, man. I wasn't sure who was going to end up with the holiday pick, and because I wanted one that was like holiday, not holiday, I wanted... And so, you know, if you guys ever want to check it out, which you won't because it's an 80s movie, but if you want to check it out, there's one called Night of the Comet. It's pretty good.
Is it about the reindeer comet?
No, not at all. Actually, it's not like holiday at all, honestly.
How is it a holiday movie?
Yeah.
It's obscurely holiday because I think it takes place during Christmas, but we're not here to talk about that.
You're like, oh, for a holiday movie, I wanted to pick this one that has nothing to do with holidays.
Well, I told you I wanted kind of like an obscure one.
The best
sorta.
type of holiday movie.
Hey, I think this one is only recently being recognized as a holiday movie. Thank you very much.
After watching it, that's bullshit.
Why? It takes place on Christmas Eve.
No. The fact that it's only recently being recognized.
Oh, I see.
I'm on your side here.
Oh, I see. I thought you were going against me for a second.
No, like they constantly are mentioning Christmas. There's the music. It's the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's definitely got the Christmas spirit. I mean, my favorite Christmas movie, you know, going with your idea of a holiday movie, is like Forrest Gump or...
Is that a Christmas movie?
Wait,
No.
how?
I just, you know, Patrick was like, my favorite Christmas movie that you should have picked isn't a Christmas movie.
I see. This is an attack on me. I gotcha. Hey, wait, but my
favorite
movie.
Christmas movie is Grandma's Boy.
Hey, my Christmas movie pick took place around Christmas, right? Like Forrest Gump could have worked at like New Year's. Didn't they celebrate New Year's in that movie?
I don't know. What about Ooga Booga? It's a great holiday classic.
Oh yeah, that's for Valentine's Day though. Watch it with the one you love. That's so stupid. Okay, no. So. Here's the thing, right? I apparently have never seen this movie in its entirety before, at all.
I think same.
How?
I don't know.
I must have seen this movie 1,000 times.
I have no idea because
I also have seen it a ton of times, so I feel like it's edited versions, like shortened versions.
made for TV kind of
Yeah.
thing. Edited for content. Which I don't know how they do that because this movie is 2 hours and 12 minutes. This is a long ass movie. What do you cut out to make it fit in a time slot on TV?
every scene involving an elevator.
yes. There are a lot of air shafts or air vents and elevator shafts.
Air shafts and elevator vents.
Yes, they both probably exist, right?
I mean, yeah, there's probably vents in an elevator shaft.
Yes.
I don't think they're called elevator vents.
Well,
maybe.
whatever.
I don't know. Who
I don't
knows?
know. But yeah, so I'm gonna
Farts have to go somewhere.
Yeah. Well, do they?
I feel like they don't.
Straighten my lungs.
Oh,
So I'm gonna have fun talking about this one because here's the thing. Right?
If we get there.
Yeah, we might get there.
Almost 10 minutes in.
Whatever. Forget this movie. No, but here's the thing, right? Okay, so I'm interested to get into this movie because let's face it, I'm pretty sure, even though it's an 80s movie and you guys hate 80s movies, this is a good movie.
It's almost 90s.
Almost.
It's close.
Almost.
Getting there.
it's almost
I mean, you
good.
would never know by the technology used in this movie.
It almost made it.
I know.
But here's the thing. I guarantee none of us are going to give this anything less than a 5. There's no way this is anything less than middle of the road for
Challenge
any
You
of us.
just determined my rating.
But here's the thing.
4.9.
So
Yep.
so what I'm going to try to do is I just want to pick apart all the shit that drove me nuts. Period. I'll try to point out a couple things here and there like, oh yeah, okay, this is fine, but I hate this because it's a good movie. It is a good movie, but there are some things. So you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into this movie.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
The movie begins where this flight is touching down.
Do you live next to an
God.
airport?
Yes.
It's like I'm there.
I know. John Mcclane, who is a New York police officer, he's a little tense. And so his seat neighbor teaches him the method of foot fisting to relax.
Yes.
I'm not wrong.
You're not.
No.
I'm not. He teaches him that, hey, I've been doing this for years, 9 years. And
They're a professional foot fister.
and this is how you relax, man. It beats a cup of coffee or a warm bath or whatever he said. And yeah.
Yeah, and Bruce Willis, in a very traditional policeman spirit, has to like flex nuts on him and like, well, I'm a cop for longer than you've been doing that.
Yes. Hey,
So I also want to point out, like, a sign of the times. I don't think off-duty police officers can carry on a plane nowadays.
oh yeah, I don't.
I
think
wouldn't.
So.
I mean, maybe, but I wouldn't think so.
I don't even think on-duty police officers can carry on a plane nowadays.
I don't know much about it, but I think they have air marshals, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have air marshals, and I think the pilot can carry, or something like that. I don't know.
I don't
This
either.
isn't We
But
Know
what if-
About Airports
But what if
podcast.
the pirate? What if there are plane pirates?
So like, what if the pirate?
We're just gonna drop that whole thought right there and move on. So he gets off the plane.
Oh, and he does something else immediately as a sign of the times. He lights a cigarette up right in the airport.
Yeah,
I did notice that right away. I was
Yeah.
like, "Whoa,
he's
what
like
a
smoking
badass!"
in the that sweet thing.
Smoking it.
The long thing that carries people, the long black carriage.
Talking about the limo?
Thank you.
I think you can smoke in a limo.
No, can you?
I mean, I guess it depends on
I
where
thought
you're
you couldn't
renting the
even
limo
smoke in
from.
cabs.
I couldn't think of limo.
I couldn't think of
Yeah,
limo.
but
I'm
limos
sorry.
are not like cabs.
Well, they're fancier.
Yeah, exactly. You probably pay more to have the ability to smoke them.
maybe.
Couldn't you? Do you think like a rich person's going to get in there with the pirate? He's going to be smoking a cigar.
I don't know. But okay, let's get on to my next gripe. Actually, foot fisting wasn't even a gripe. I'm down with
That was
that.
enjoyable.
Yeah, you do that to unwind and relax, for those who don't know. Now let's talk about why John's there. Russell, why is John there?
He's trying to win his wife back, essentially, at the Christmas party at her new fancy. She's like CEO or something, right?
Yeah, she's
like-
something big.
she's like-
Never really say.
Right under the president, if you know what I'm saying,
Uh-huh.
of the company, not president of like the United States,
Yeah.
of Nakatomi
Yes.
Towers.
And this
Tower.
is in Los Angeles? California of
Somewhere.
sorts, yes.
Yeah, because they have to
Yes.
make that clear. Every time John McClane sees something, he's like, ugh, California.
I know.
Person walks by, he's like, ugh, California, look at that guy.
Yes. Yeah, I think now you mentioned it. He said it like 4 times in the beginning.
He really
Yeah.
did.
Hey, man, he's a long way from home. He just prefers New York. But yeah, so he goes to this party. And let me tell you something, man. Rich executive people know how to party.
Really?
Yeah.
All 12
Party
of them.
Yes. Hey, there's like 35, man.
They're like standing in the lobby, one guy snorting coke.
Yes. There's other
Great
people
party.
getting busy in an office.
Are
One
you
guy's
hearing
doing
that?
cork.
Is your Korg?
He's doing. I said cork. He's doing cork.
Cork.
It's natural.
I'm picturing he's got like a cork out of like a wine bottle. He's chopping up with a razor blade.
No, he's just stuffing the whole cork in his nose, just plugging it up like, this is great.
Okay, first of all, let's talk about the amount of people that are there. They said there's something like 30 or 35, and that is perfectly fine because it's fucking Christmas Eve. They should be home.
Dude,
Why are people at a Christmas
building
party?
Must employ like 2,000 people.
That is
and
a huge building.
30 of them show up to the Christmas party.
Yes.
Are you kidding?
Because the rest of them want to be with their family. It's Christmas Eve.
We work at buildings that employ like a couple hundred people, and they're almost all there for Christmas parties.
Yeah, but their Christmas parties are usually like weeks after Christmas, week before Christmas. Nobody has a party on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
Maybe they did in the 80s.
Oh,
they
or
have
maybe.
kids. What are
Yeah.
they doing?
Yeah, and that's funny because even in the beginning when
It's the 80s.
the one
You
guy's
just
like
leave your kids home with a TV dinner.
with a stereotypical,
Wow, I've officially changed
Mexican
sides.
maid. Where would I be without you, Paulina? See? Where would I?
See?
Yes.
I can't.
Yes, exactly. It's so horrible, but I guess that's life.
It's the 80s.
80s life, man. It's
I
crazy.
like how they had to slip the creepy, rapey 80s guy in for the party.
Ellis?
Oh,
the
God.
Coke
Ellis.
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Coke guy.
I hate that guy so much.
Every 80s movie has one.
He's one. Yeah, that's so true.
Has a
He's-
Coke guy.
Every 80s movie has a rapey Coke guy. He's one person I want to complain about, but that's a legit complaint. They made him
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
so that you would hate him. He's pretentious, obnoxious, and even, oh man, just to jump a little ahead, even when he's trying to like smooth things over with Hans Gruber, he's all like, I can do this for you, Bubby, it's me, come on. And it's like, I'm like, oh my God, just shoot this fucker. just end it now.
That whole scene was just actually awful.
That was really bad. But you know what? It got rid of him, so it had to be there.
Good ending.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes. Let's go back to the party. He's there. And again, to show how great of a party this is, he's not even there for like 2 seconds. He's getting kissed by guys. People are running
California.
off. I know, California. He meets the head dude.
The dude head.
The dude head. I don't know his name. Russell, you know it because you know the song. Who's the guy?
The main, like, the Japanese dude?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know his name.
What? You know everything else.
Hakoyami Chibuka
Chabuka.
Lubu.
Chabuka.
That is racist.
I don't know, something like that.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, the main guy, the guy who like pretty much owns this company in this
Isn't it the same
building.
name as the company? What's the company's name?
What's the company's name?
I don't know. The tower is
You
Nakatomi
just-
Tower.
Okay.
So I think it's something about Nakatomi Industries or something. I don't know.
Show him the watch.
Later.
Well, go on, show him. What are you, embarrassed? It's just a small token of appreciation for all our hard work. It's a Rolex.
Yeah, it's just a little token of our appreciation.
God, I
nothing,
hate that guy.
Nothing fancy. It's a Rolex.
I know. I hate that guy. It's not a big deal though. Rolex, super expensive, but it wasn't that much. Fucking really, really expensive.
So was he just trying to bang everything that moved? Or was he
Yeah, because I think he's
specific-
even hitting on the Asian guy.
Was he?
Yeah, man. He's
I mean-
like nudging him. He's all high on coke and stuff, and
Yeah, I guess he was on coke.
groping him. Touchling him.
Oh, hold
What?
up. We
What do you
skipped
got?
over one of the most annoying scenes.
Ooh, I want to hear.
The touch screen.
Oh yes, dude. Their computer interfaces are the shit.
So did literally nothing.
Yeah, I didn't understand that neither.
He like searched her name and it's like he searched her for no reason because the guard still had to do everything.
Yeah, I thought it was like to see if he was on like a guest list or like a +1 for something, and
Wasn't
nothing.
he just trying to see like where she was in the building?
That's
How
what
did-
I thought.
How did the thing know though?
Probably just told him where her office was.
It's
or something.
future, Michael. It's future.
You know what I hate, and they do this later,
What's that?
is that I think they still do this in movies, which I think is weird, but especially in these older ones. Whenever someone breaks a computer or something,
Sparks?
there's always sparks
Oh,
and
yeah.
fire shooting out of it.
Yep.
Your
Like-
computers don't spark?
No. I mean,
What's wrong
I've
with
like
mine?
you know, there have been times where like I've been mad or something and just rip stuff out of my computer while it's on, and it just doesn't do anything. It
No,
just breaks.
actually, you know what? I will say this happened earlier this year, and I flipped out. No sparks, unfortunately. Somebody was trying to jam a USB cord into a USB port, and it wasn't going probably the wrong way or something, and they wedged it in there, and smoke started coming out of my computer. So I run and unplug everything like super quick and rip the cord out. Luckily enough, my computer was okay.
God, that
But
just reminds me of
scary.
like, me and Dustin hanging out. And his computer would start acting up, and he'd just whip a half full 2-liter across the room at it, and it would start working again.
Whoa, that's weird. Yeah, no, that was the only like incident I've ever encountered, and yeah, is pretty creepy. It's like, no, it's my only computer. But yeah, so
Yeah, you see smoke coming from your computer. It's time to panic.
yes, exactly. But going back to their computers though, he looked her name up twice. That's when he found out she was going by her maiden name, and he's like, oh, come on now, you know. Whatever.
And then didn't it say she's on like the 30th floor?
Yeah,
or
and
something?
then even the guard's like, oh yeah, they're on the 31st floor or whatever floor it was. He's like, they're having a Christmas party. It's like, then what the hell says the?
I think he also says like they're the only ones here.
Yes.
It's like, bitch, why did he have to search it if the guard already knew? It's like, yeah, the only people here on the
I thought the
guard
same
was
thing.
watching the game on the little tiny TV,
Yeah.
so he wasn't paying attention.
Whatever. It's just I thought that was kind of stupid too. Didn't understand it. It was just to kind of I think
Maybe
flex
it's-
on their technology.
Maybe it's for when the company is busier and there's lots of people coming and going, and he's helping somebody so they can look it up themselves.
No, yeah.
So it's fine.
I mean,
It's
okay,
fine.
here's the thing.
Totally
During the
makes
day,
sense.
during operation when there's probably potentially thousands of people to look up a name and have it be like the directory, like, oh, this is on such and such a floor in this office. Great. Even though you could just have a freaking map like most buildings have. Whatever. But even the guard says, it's like, oh, they're on this floor. They're the only ones here at a Christmas party. He didn't need a computer.
John just wanted to use a touchscreen for the first time in his life.
He didn't want to. The guy's like, computer.
Plus, why are we still talking about this?
I don't know. This has been going on for a while. Doesn't matter.
Mike is
matters.
just like,
It matters. I'm in the middle of this debate, and I don't know if I want to be in it.
Mike's just like, computers, huh? Anyway, so he gets up there. We have a little marital, like, whatever. And this is when, like, the bad guys show up. This is when Hans, what did he refer to himself as? Like an exquisite thief? Something like that. Because when they found out he was there for, like, for the money or whatever, like, oh, so you're just a thief. And he's like, I swear I could
like
be wrong.
Really, really late in the movie, though, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, this is I'm just saying this is how he sees himself. He has, and this is important. I want to make this known because he's an idiot. Okay. Oh my God, he has this thought out to like every detail. No I has been left undotted. No T uncrossed. He is ready. They go in there, they open the truck, all these guys get out. You got his German friends, you got some hackers, you got surf ninjas. They're all there, okay?
Wasn't their van in that truck?
Supposed to be, but
How
it
did
wasn't.
they fit all the people?
They didn't. That van did not exist in the beginning of the movie.
Are you sure? They showed one van go in there. What if two came in? You just didn't see it.
Okay, yes, you
Maybe
could.
one
you
van
could.
had people, one van had a van. One baby van.
One van
Okay,
had
first of
van.
all, that van was an ambulance, which was really cool, by the way. I like that. But it was the same van.
A van.
How do you know? How do you know?
I
Should I-
read
did
it.
you,
I
like, read
read
the
it.
plates?
I
Oh, because they were both had the same lettering on them. You've never seen a
Yes.
fleet before?
No, I read it. It was a movie mistake that the director caught after the first edit, and it was already kind of like okayed. And he's like, well, that happened because the ending was changed. I don't know what the original was, and I don't know why they changed it, but they decided to add the ambulance after the fact. So they put it in there, they brought it out, they recorded it, and then
Yeah, they didn't even need the ambulance.
It was actually
They
a
served no
terrible scene.
point.
yeah, I didn't. I think that was to give the viewer an idea of how they planned on possibly escaping, because even he said later on that the only way he can get away with this is if they thought he died, because $600 million, they're gonna go after him. But yeah, there's just so much I just hate about this movie. Actually, the more I'm talking about it, okay, whatever. So yeah, the ambulance was not there originally,
Okay.
because it was only
Yeah,
the people, and the ambulance shows up there thereafter later on for their escape plan, but was foiled because of Argyle.
Yeah,
Terrible.
which is kind of dumb too, because he doesn't really know what's going on or
No.
who's involved or anything. So he just sees this ambulance and like, I'm gonna fucking crash into it and beat
Well,
the shit out
I
of
mean,
this
he
guy.
did see an ambulance come out of another truck.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just weird.
But he did hear a little bit on the CB radio in the limo because his limo had everything. Which I want to point out, this is kind of weird.
I think
this-
I know where you're going with this.
why everybody was on the same fucking frequency.
Yeah. All the time. Doesn't matter.
It
who.
also was we've talked about this before, where when something needs to happen
Yes.
or they need a moment, it just doesn't count.
Yeah.
So like, why was Hans just not shit talking them while he's having an emotional moment about his wife, or like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
like they were when they needed to have time alone on the radio channels, they got time alone on the radio channels.
Or he could have even pulled some bullshit like he did later on, where like and it could have been somebody else in his team, where somebody else could have also been playing the cops. Like, oh, I'm in here too, or whatever, you know. Because then, even if they didn't believe it, maybe they would throw John McClane off to the cops too. Like, oh, who can we believe? You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit here. There's a lot of shit. Even when he looked like he was changing frequencies to talk to other people, it seemed like they could still hear the police and John. None of that made sense to me.
They had a whole plethora of radios to every
Yes,
frequency.
to
So when
every-
they heard something like, oh, that one.
Yes. No. That was driving me nuts. But whatever, man. Whatever.
Also, like, why would you plan your elaborate heist and use a CB radio?
I don't know.
80s.
Yeah,
They didn't
80s.
have any other technology.
That was top notch technology. They're like, well, man, when we played this all out, we need CBs. There's no other way to do this. This is what we need. This is gonna make us awesome. I guess I don't know. It's all about image apparently.
They should have all had bag phones.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bagpipes.
Communicating bagpipe code. I don't know why it sounds like a trumpet, but that's how they.
They're not very good
That's
at
how
it.
they fool you.
Dude, the best bagpipe ever.
I would love to see this movie again, but instead of every time they're on the walkie-talkie, it's just someone playing the bagpipe.
Oh man, it's so good.
It'd be a long 2 hours.
But yeah, so John McClane, I do like a lot of the little details that kind of add to the realism of this, right? Like I liked because of the guy in the airplane that's like, dude, take your shoes and socks off, crinkle your toes on the carpet, it calms you down. So he did that, which is why he had to fight this whole thing barefoot. I liked that. It added a nice touch of realism, which is needed when you have other scenes where this guy is just going balls to the wall with a machine gun. I don't know shit about guns, Mike. You can verify this a little bit, but he never ran out of ammo. This guy was shooting.
I did see him reload twice.
He
at least.
reloaded quite a few times.
He had moments, yes. He had moments.
They kept showing him check his magazines, implying he was reloading.
Yeah.
I actually saw a few scenes like that. Like there was one where, like the bad guy on the MP5 slapped the charging handle for like no reason in the middle of conversation.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like in the movies when they have to make it dramatic.
Oh, yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like they're about to shoot someone and they wait a while and then they pull back the hammer.
Yeah.
It's like why did you wait until now to do that?
And now I picture John McClane's like going crazy with the machine gun, take his clip out. Holy shit, how there's still stuff in here. Going more like, come on! It's like he just never ends, you know?
Yeah.
Because there are a few scenes, because I was watching, I know he changes clips a few times. And I guess you could arguably say when it's cutting to view other things, maybe he's changing.
I mean, like, but also, like,
But-
he only killed a few of those guys. Like, he really didn't kill that many.
Yeah, he did. I think,
There was only 12 of them total.
well,
yeah.
how many people have you killed?
Not 12.
But like, I think at one point,
I'm saying, like,
he was down to 5 toward the end.
But hear me out. What I'm saying is, like, they were all carrying like 1 or 2 magazines on them.
Okay.
So, and he was dumping mags. Like, how many could he have actually had?
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's like, it's right on with your argument. It's like, he didn't have to reload. Action movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know
Or,
what else?
oh my God, everyone walking around like, with the gun straight up in the air. Like,
Yes. Oh. Okay. Who was the worst henchman? Anybody? Because I got one, and I'm sure it's got to be the worst.
is it Table Guy?
Table guy.
Table guy.
Who's table guy?
The one who gets shot in the dick while he's standing on a table?
Yeah.
Did I not? Do you have like a director's cut? Did I not see this?
No, I watched your version because I was too lazy to get my DVD out.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
When did the guy get shot in the dick?
When he's like,
When you have the chance, kill him or whatever.
You should kill people when you have the chance or whatever. And he's like, thanks for the advice. Yippee-ki-yay.
Yes. Okay, yeah, that's right. 'Cause he was under the table. I gotcha. All right, table guy.
I also like when he has
I'll
the
come
2
back.
bullets left and he fires them. He goes at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, that was another one that got me.
Why?
When he was in the vents and they were shooting holes in the vents.
yeah.
Why were the vent holes smoking?
It's all dramatic.
It was
man.
just the dust in the vent
Theatrical.
getting tossed around.
I'll take that.
actually, yeah.
That's
That could
actually
be.
like that wasn't what they were going for, but I'll take it.
How come? I kind of attributed it to that his wife beater, his tank top, got dirty.
I actually like that.
But it went from like bright Clorox white, like commercially white,
To like, you know,
to green.
Well, dude, you should have seen some of the stuff he was
it was
going through.
But it's
brown
like
as hell.
it is
He
like
was all sweaty.
No,
He was in like those construction airs. There's dust
that's
everywhere.
true, but it was like consistently like a whole different. Like it wasn't
You know
like
what?
blotchy.
You know what? Here, how about you go through all that? Tell me what color your tank top turns out at the end.
I mean, it was like a nice, even, solid color.
I'm buying it. I'm buying it the whole way through.
I thought it got really dirty really fast.
It did, yes. I think
But-
like from one scene to the next, and maybe that's just like an editing error where they didn't kind of like they're like, holy shit, this movie is now 3 hours. We need to we need to cut this down a little bit. And all those
6
scenes were
that show his shirt getting dirtier.
yes, maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
I also like that as long as he's running, he cannot get shot.
Yes, always.
Anybody who's standing is dead. But as long as he's running, it doesn't matter what machine gun, sniper rifle, who's shooting, how many people, as long as he's running, he is fine.
If movies have taught us anything, that when in danger, if you just run, it automatically sends bullets to the ground or the nearest fence. That is how that works. And if you're standing still, actually, I think you're still okay. As long as you have a gun. I feel like as long as you have a gun, nobody can shoot you even if you're standing still.
As long as you're the good guy, God
Yes.
is on your side.
Yes. So, we get a lot of that in this movie. Not as bad as Commando.
That was terrible.
Not
I was comparing this heavily to Commando as I watched it, and the whole time I kept thinking, like, yeah, this is better.
Yep.
Oh, to sidetrack a little bit, I was actually really surprised. The director of this movie, he doesn't have a whole lot of movies under his belt as far as directed films, but he's got some good ones. He's got Predator. He's got The Hunt for Red October, and there's like 2 other really good ones, but they're like solid action films. So that's pretty cool. Apparently, I'm a fan of this John McTiernan or whatever. I don't know. If you guys like action movies, check out his other stuff, which you won't ever.
I feel like I've heard his name before, but I don't know directors. I don't pay attention to it much.
He also did, perhaps you are familiar with a little film called Last Action Hero.
No, actually, I have no idea what that is.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's really stupid. No.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's a big old nope.
All right. Anyway, whatever.
Moving on, cut that part. Let's do this.
Yeah, we're back. We get a lot of scenes in elevator shafts and air vents. All the while, he's keeping communication with Carl Winslow.
Best character.
Yes, I really do like his character a lot. Played by Reginald Vell Johnson.
Carl
Winslow. Family Matters, man.
What?
The cop, the officer he's communicating with.
Sergeant.
Alan.
Yeah.
Carl.
Family Matters, man. He's the dad. He's Carl Winslow.
I don't know. What is that?
Dude, he played he played a cop in that show too. I think this guy just is like typecast as like an officer apparently.
Well, I
Donut loving officer.
I've never seen
what
that
a
show.
dick, by the way.
What, the convenience store guy?
Yeah. Fucking like Nacho Libre. He's like, oh, eat some donuts, fucking cop or whatever. I don't know. The guy's a jerk.
People don't like cops.
So keep it to yourself. Cop probably doesn't like you. What? That's probably true.
That probably is
Yeah.
true.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't know. I loved his character. He's so good. And
his ending kind of was like, ruined him a little bit for me.
yeah, but I think if you look at the ending the way I look at the ending, it kind of saves it a little bit. I'll get into that later if I can remember. So
I mean, like, that's, I don't know. We're probably going to disagree on that ending.
maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's keeping tabs on the officer guy who finally realizes after all John McClane's attempts to get some sort of authorities there to, realize what's going on. This guy finally shows up, radios in, shit finally hits the fan. And it's about damn time. Everybody just shows up. We're getting like news anchors, police, FBI. We get like a police semi. We get the principal of the local high schools there.
Are you just making sure we're paying attention at this point?
No, and yes, it's the guy from the Breakfast Club. Damn it! I can't make no jokes with you guys. Paul Gleason.
The only movies I've ever seen are the movies we do on this podcast. So
you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
I've never watched a movie in my life.
That guy, and I've never.
We're the worst people for movie podcasts. What have you done?
Okay, well, fine, whatever. You guys will get there. You'll get there. He played the principal in Breakfast Club, and I've only seen him in that movie and this movie. I honestly didn't even know he did anything else.
You know what's sad?
And what?
Because I recognized him. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, good. But the thing is, like, I feel like this guy, almost like Reginald Vell Johnson playing the cop, because I've only seen him as a cop. He is kind of the same. He is the exact same person as he was in Breakfast Club. He's just this really like power tripping, obnoxious old white guy. Same guy. But yeah, so
he kind of shifts sides towards the end. He knows how to go with the winning team.
Yes, he does. He's a dick too. There's a lot of people. I don't like him. I don't like the one FBI guy who was super obnoxious. I don't like Ellis.
What was the FBI guy's name?
Johnson.
Johnson and Johnson.
I was going to remember that. Yeah, because I was going to say, oh yeah, Johnson.
No, I never finished up about the worst henchman.
The blonde one.
Yes, Carl's Jr. That guy. I hated him. Where's that from? A
lot of things. I think it's the one I'm thinking was the llamas.
Yeah.
Carl, that kills people.
Yes. That's what I'm thinking. No, I hated him. I hated him so much.
Which one? Now, is this the older brother? Like,
yeah, the long-haired one.
Okay. I actually liked the way his younger brother died.
That's morbid.
His death was really appealing. Why? Yeah. How did he die? I can't remember.
They kind of just were like wrestling, fighting, and they slipped and just kind of fell down the stairs.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like he never got back up. It's like it was the most like realistic, like anticlimactic death in a movie ever.
That's actually one thing I absolutely love about this movie is it's almost played realistic. Like if you watch it, it's like it's a little far fetched. Don't get me wrong.
Weren't you just talking about how unrealistic it was a moment ago?
I had to watch it. Also. I need to see this reaction.
I said no, but here's the thing. That's what kills this movie for me because like when it's going like normally or whatever, it's believable, but it has these moments of like, okay, bullshit, stupid, dumb, hate it. Okay, I'm on board.
Hey. Point at me when you said dumb.
sorry. But yeah,
some scenes are like this.
Yes.
But I mean, it was really stereotypical when the one guy wanted revenge on his brother, so he's like, all right, no guns, now we're going to fight. And then, of course, he loses. When he could have just shot him right there.
Thank you.
He's like, my gun is on your head.
Thank you.
Battle. Why?
Because here's the thing I get. I get he wants revenge. And even if you're like that kind of person who's like, I want this to hurt. I want you to feel it. You deserve this for what you've done to me. Like, he could have like shot him in a kneecap from like over here, then got to him and like did whatever he wanted to.
Whoa.
But let's be super dramatic. I'm going to hold this to your head. I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to give you a chance to survive. Why? Every movie is this way. That killed it for
80s,
me.
Man.
And that's true too. Another thing I hated is when there's all that gunfire on the roof, and there's that blonde guy who's up top on like this. I don't know.
Is this older brother?
Yes, this is older brother, long-haired blonde guy, and he's up there and he's holding his rifle up like this, and he's walking like he's trying to be stealthy. There's so much gunfire. Really? You could
Not only that, it's like if you're walking with your gun pointed straight up in the fucking sky, when you see your target, you got to start aiming after that.
Yeah.
Maybe like put it to your shoulder and point it forward so you can actually fucking use it.
I watched that scene and I'm like, this is just dumb. And I don't know. I had moments.
I don't even understand. I guess it's like, you see, what's weird is I see that in a lot of 80s movies where like they walk around all dramatically holding the gun pointed straight up.
Yes.
I don't know.
In the 80s, people didn't know.
You know
they just didn't know.
They didn't. They learned later on after many deaths. How about let's get back to the 80s and some good old-fashioned C4. Thank you.
Yes.
Don't remember what the hell that other shit was, but we're back to the good
No,
stuff.
the fucking claymores from.
No, I was talking about that crap that they were using in the Foreigner. That everyone's like, oh, you don't know this stuff? I'm like, hey man, what happened to C4?
Semtex?
Yeah.
Semtex.
SIM cards.
Explosives expert over here. Let me ask this, Mr. Explosive.
Whoa.
He kicks this chair and this monitor. Why the C4 exploded, I'm not 100% sure.
Didn't he have a detonator?
Did he?
I thought he had detonators.
I don't know.
I mean, those are blasting caps you put in it. But
Yeah, but all I seen was
I don't
kick
know
the
why I put
chair
so many.
down, and then it's just like it.
Maybe when it hit the ground, it exploded.
That's what I wanted to know. Well, one, would that happen?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
And
No, didn't they do that in Mythbusters? Didn't they shoot C4 and like try to blow it up and
Yeah,
stuff? But you
I
need
think
to
so.
like detonate it properly or something. I don't
Couldn't
know.
tell
Yeah,
you.
But what I thought was dumb.
they microwaved that shit for like an hour.
Yeah, I
Holy
think,
crap, really?
I think you
Yeah.
need to have a specific way to detonate it. But what I thought was dumb is he's like, oh no, things are getting bad. I better do something to
Yes.
save everybody. So I'm going to just randomly blow up C4. And for some reason, it blows up some of the bad guys, but it doesn't blow up the hostages. Even though he had no way of aiming or
No.
putting this in any direction at all.
This is what I had a problem with, okay? Because I don't know where he is on what like floor relative to the hostages, but my thought was I thought he was just trying to do it as like a diversion or something, I don't know. And he kicks it down. It looks like and maybe I took it wrong, but it looked like it blew up a lower level. Like they're on like the 30th floor or something,
Yeah.
and it looked like it blew up maybe like I don't know, maybe 5th or 6th floor, I guess.
That's what I was actually thinking was like 4th floor.
Yeah. So a couple questions. One, why were there people of these bad guys on the 4th floor, whatever floor that was? Why did they die? And secondly, wouldn't the rest of the building have come down? That explosion looked massive as shit.
Also, was that just like one brick of C4? Like, I'm sorry, but that was a big fucking explosion.
I thought the same thing.
I mean, I guess I'm not like going against the size of the explosion or
Oh, I get
how
it.
strong the building was. I just think it's weird that he didn't know exactly how big it was going to explode or where it was going to explode, and yet only the bad guys got hurt.
I know how
yes.
I know how
That's
that
my
worked
only
out.
problem.
I know how it worked out.
How's that?
So he was up on that floor. He saw the elevator going down. So he knew the elevator stopped on the floor where the bad guys were.
So if the C4 hit the
Oh.
elevator, it'd be on the right floor. So I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense.
So that's-
Okay.
They at least have that. And I guess if he knows it's a big fucking explosion, it's gonna take the whole floor.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at how big that was. I'm like, you have.
There's a chance it's like that dude stopped to go to the bathroom on hostage floor and everyone just dies.
I know, but no, like seriously, I'm watching this whole level just like it just gets demolished. I'm like, I don't even know how tall this building is, but there's a lot of floors above this, and I'm like, he is lucky as shit. The whole building just didn't topple down.
I don't know. I guess I think buildings are stronger than that little C4.
Maybe
When they demolish buildings, they gotta put like huge amounts of explosives on certain parts.
No,
and detonate it during
I
certain
agree.
times
I
to get the
agree. But
building.
if you watch an explosion, I get it was a little brick,
yeah.
but it looked huge.
I think it made a big
huge.
fireball. Probably hurts people. Probably doesn't hurt buildings.
Maybe. I don't know much about explosions. Okay. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, we're moving past this.
We're moving on.
Mike could probably talk about this forever.
No.
Okay. So
I clean.
So they take care of this. Let's see. The feds are coming in. They're okay. Yeah. This ends up being this is what I'm kind of annoyed with. Right. This is what I'm annoyed with. This is when what's his face? Everybody finds out that they're in it for the money. Which of course, why else would they be there? Right. I mean, come on.
For the
For Anna.
war crimes or whatever they're
T-
mad about.
Two things here. Right. Okay. He wanted the stuff to the safe. Why didn't the main guy just let him take the shit? You mean to tell me none of that is insured? None of it's insured? He can't get it back? I don't know much about these bonds things or whatever the fuck he was stealing, but it seems like I would be like, hey man, just take whatever you want. What would you care?
Maybe he had some illegal stuff in there.
Maybe he really didn't have the codes to the safe.
Yeah, he did say he didn't have them. Maybe because it was so much money, he had like half of the code and somebody else, had the other half.
Yeah,
and
there's
that
like
way it's
7
like a
layers,
safety.
wasn't there?
Yeah,
It's
there
like
were.
dip.
So maybe he knew how to do some of it, but he needed somebody else or multiple people to get in there
Yeah, I guess
for safety.
I was just
for
a little
that
annoyed
occasion.
by that, but I'll take that back. You're right. Okay, fine. Because he did act like he didn't know. Fine, fair enough. I just thought it was like one of those things. Where it's like, no, I'm not gonna give it to you.
You just assume he's lying.
Yeah.
You just assume everybody's a liar.
Just
Yeah.
like Hans. Hans assumed he was lying, and you saw what happened.
Yeah. I did like later when Hans had to put on his American accent.
That was
I just
awful.
thought that was funny for some
Yeah,
reason.
no, that was
I mean, it
pretty
was good
good.
awful, though. I
very,
liked it.
Very clever, by the way. Because the funny part is when he jumped down and he started his American accent, he's like, "Oh, thank God!" I'm like,
I got mad.
I was like, "Is this Hans's brother?" I have no joke.
It's Franz.
Hans and Franz, dude. I was legitimately kind of confused, and then I realized what was going on.
I was legitimately mad.
I was
like,
at first.
I was like, what the fuck? Didn't he see this fucker early on? But I realized he only saw the hand with the gun.
Yeah, he didn't actually see his face, I don't think.
No, and he didn't see him at all. I actually went back and looked. I'm pretty sure he didn't see anything.
I was getting kind of mad at John at first because I legitimately thought he gave him the gun and was buying his bullshit.
Oh, I knew when he like checked it that he did something.
Well,
to it.
that I kind of figured at that point. I'm like, okay, I'm thinking he knows. But when this guy's talking, like his American accent was funny, but like you can tell. And he's been talking to him on the radio.
Yeah. Plus, he on the phone earlier mentioned something about how like they're nicely dressed. They have like, foreign clothes and stuff. And he didn't like. He changed his accent, but he couldn't change his appearance.
Yeah, but pretty quick.
Yeah.
Pretty quick. I like that a lot. Because this is a scene, especially when they're on this floor and they're going after him and he realizes, because this is when he realizes he's barefoot.
I have a question about that scene, though.
Ooh, what?
Before we continue. He gave him a name. It was Bill Clay.
Yes.
What significance did that have? He looked up at the sign and saw William Clay was there, so the person existed.
Yeah. Well, because I think it was to validate that he was legitimately a person maybe that was there, because he doesn't know all the people. He just got there.
Yeah.
I mean, John doesn't know anybody, so if he said, Bill Clay, and he looked and maybe seen the name or something, or maybe he just picked it out of a hex. It's like,
Well, I was just curious because obviously he knew he was faking it, so I don't know why that was important.
Maybe it's just to show the intelligence and the wit of the
the detective work.
Well, I don't even think that. I think maybe of Hans.
Yeah.
I think Hans purposely chose the name of somebody who worked in the building
right.
to try to fool him.
I don't care how intelligent this Hans guy seems. It seems like, to me, he brought one detonator, and he needs it to carry out this entire plan. I don't know.
That was really expensive.
I was just going to say, I don't know much about what was all involved. I mean, some of this equipment looked big and crazy, like that drill thing on that safe.
Yeah, they have like 4 rocket launchers.
Yeah. It's nuts. And he's just like, well, crap. We spent the budget on everything else. We only have enough for one detonator. That is like the biggest part of your plan, and you have one that you're giving to one guy. For somebody who's trying to be like this exquisite or whatever the hell like thief he was supposed to be, it seems like you would have had a little bit of a backup with that.
Maybe he had a previous team where everyone had detonators and it just didn't go well. That's why he has a new team.
I don't know. I guess it's a possibility. It's a possibility. But that drove me nuts because everything was foiled because John got the detonator. We need this detonator. We have to get this detonator. Nothing else can go forward without this detonator. And
You should have just detonated it. You should have been like, they have the explosives with them. Boop.
Yeah.
Done.
Oh man,
Fucking
but yeah,
genius.
I was just driving me nuts. I do like because it makes a lot of sense. And I think John was yelling, getting kind of pissed off, but he was up on top of the building, and he was trying to get the people to go back in because he knew that they were gonna detonate and explode like the whole top of the building, kill the people, and then the choppers and shit. I like that because he can't get the people to go, so he shoots the gun in the air to scare them back down. And I like how these feds don't know, so they're shooting at John because they think he's one of the terrorists. I thought that was pretty good. That was
But
pretty
he
good.
runs, so
Yes.
the bullets are always right on his heels.
Yes, because, angles. Think of angles. You can't move fast enough. It's angles and distance.
Yeah, all those other kids with the pumped up kicks gotta run faster than the bullets.
It's
Oh my
PF
God.
Flyers, my friend. Yeah.
He was barefoot though.
Oh, yeah, he was. Shit. Whatever. Anyway, that never makes sense because, the thing is they should be able to move their gun like an inch.
Yeah.
And it should catch up with him. It never makes sense. It's so dumb. But that's an action movie. And you know what? That has to be accepted in these worlds, especially in the 80s. Especially in the 80s.
I feel like most people do accept that and have no problem with it.
Yeah, it just has the
I
excitement.
think most people just don't even think about it and ignore it subconsciously.
Yeah, I think they do. I think we've been like almost like desensitized
Yeah.
to it,
Most Americans believe they can dodge bullets by running at a light sprint.
Yeah, a light sprint. Yes, exactly.
A mild jog.
Which is funny because he had no problem running and walking away at this point. Even though like 2 seconds ago he's like limping hardcore.
Adrenaline.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that. You son of a bitch. I knew it. Yeah,
Manson,
I guess.
for everything.
I don't know.
Adrenaline.
Maybe.
Then there's the fire hose scene.
Yes.
Where he's swinging off the building, and you know,
I liked that.
yeah, I mean, one of those things where it's like you can't really dispute it because I mean it could happen.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
They did that twice. They had that same gimmick twice in this movie.
What? When?
Yeah, I guess they kind of did.
They do. They do. When he uses his first machine gun, like the little strap,
yeah.
and he does the exact same shit, basically. I was looking at like, that's a thin-ass fucking stock on that gun. I'm just curious if it could hold the weight of a person.
Yeah, and he's not a small guy neither.
I gotta say, he just put a lot of faith in that little strap and those little plastic clips on it and
Yes,
stuff.
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. But it worked out, so we're okay.
Yeah.
I mean, did it? He technically did go.
Yeah.
The gun held though. I mean, the
True.
strap just eventually it's like, all right, we're done here.
Yeah.
There's a lot we did miss. We're not going to be able to cover everything. This is a long ass movie.
Long
Oh,
movie.
man.
Yes. In fact, actually, I was very surprised when I went to check this movie out. Like, holy shit, is it over 2 hours? Yeah, over 2 hours. Thank you, Russell.
Of nonstop action.
Kind of, honestly. And so yeah, there's a lot that goes on, but they find out that Holly's there, who is John's wife. There's this huge thing at the end where dramatic. There's actually that's the thing. It is dramatic. It's over the top. It still holds on to a level of realism though.
With the roof scene after Blondie number 2 fights John.
Okay, yeah,
Is that Carl?
yeah. Carl's Jr.
Okay. Okay, so after Carl's Jr. loses to John and he gets hung by the chain.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love this.
Okay, so like this man, he gets hung by the chain. He's flung over there. Now he's hanging there, and John goes upstairs.
Yes.
The whole scene on the roof happens.
Uh-huh.
People come back down, and every single person's like, oh, look at that guy.
Yeah, he's been dangling there a good 10, 15,
How
shit, maybe
the
even 20
fuck
minutes.
does he come back at the end?
I thought the same thing. I'm like, really? This had to happen? Like,
Yeah,
come on.
That's why I didn't like what happened with the sergeant's character.
So, yes. Oh no, you gotta look at it this way. I love this. Okay, let me get there though. Okay, so Hans Gruber is holding the wife hostage. He's by a window, of course. John has 2 shots left. That's all he needs. He grabs the gun on his back after laughing hysterically. Great scene. I think even the wife at one point is like, "What the fuck is going on here?" So he grabs it.
Rickman's like confusion leading into a slow laugh was really good. I liked that a lot.
The whole scene was kind of strange, but it was pretty funny.
Speaking of good acting, the previous scene with the fire hose,
Yes.
like the weird like desperation, am I like alive face that John made after he got like the hose
Yeah.
off of him, like that look of like, okay, I'm still alive.
No,
Like,
he was like, I think
one-
throughout the whole movie was really convincing.
that was actually pretty good.
And I also love because these movies and the Lethal Weapons do it too, where they actually get beat the shit up. I hate movies where people are getting like really pounded on and like they walk away with like a scratch, which is perfectly healed an hour later.
Movie, Commando.
Yes, but yeah. So I like that. I love when people get beat up. I love when people get beat up.
Sick.
I love it. Let's get to.
Can we talk about the strength of the Rolex? Can hold a grown man up. I'm impressed.
I believe it.
It's a Rolex. It better for what you're paying
Yeah,
for.
I mean,
that's where the value comes in,
that
right?
gun strap held him. This is like a metal watch.
I would like to
thing.
think
I don't
though, if we're talking
know.
realism,
I'm just rambling on over here. Ignore me.
I would like to think that for realism though, if he was really holding onto this Rolex to keep from falling, it would have been digging into her skin really hard. There's been like some blood
Also,
or
with
something.
that type of pressure, wouldn't it like been nearly impossible to undo the latch?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably. So they undo the Rolex. Hans falls. Everything's great.
Best line in the movie comes up.
What is it?
I really hope that's not a hostage.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, look at the ending this way, right? So we are told previously about the story of Alan. What's his name? Alan. Okay, he is working the desk now. He's not on the streets anymore as a cop. He works the desk because he had an incident where he accidentally shot a 13-year-old boy, and it was dark. He had a ray gun, looked pretty damn real, so he did what he had to do. And so
I
ever
thought
since
that ray gun was a real ray gun. He's like, fuck.
yes,
We just got regular bullets.
you can't go up against lasers. So yeah,
Going to disintegrate his ass.
So here's how the ending works, right? So it's kind of like his shining moment. He has never drawn his gun since, which is weird. He still carries one, but okay, whatever.
Probably
He's
has to.
never drawn his gun since. But at the end, when the second
The
coming of
zombie?
Hans
Yeah.
comes back, I don't understand that this
Hans
guy.
comes back. He's like, I've realized my problems. I'm Jesus now.
It's a really good thing this guy has been working on his neck because he was hanging by that bad boy for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, dude. He got super neck muscles. He was pretending to be dead to wait for his time to strike.
Yeah, maybe.
You know?
So he comes out getting ready to shoot John, and you don't know it yet, even though you know it.
Yeah, you know.
Al pulls his pistol, and he wastes this guy. What you need to realize, what they find out later, is Hans Carl Jr. Whatever. No, Hans, not Hans. It's Carl. It's Carl Jr. Hans Carl Jr. I'm getting names mixed up.
Hans, John, Carl's, Allen's.
Junior.
Okay,
Junior.
yes. What he learns later on is Carl's Jr. was only 13 years old.
Oh my God.
That's how you got to look at
Those
it.
European guys always look older, you
They
know?
really do, yes. So that really fucks up Alan's life thereafter really bad.
Yeah.
That ray gun was so real looking.
Okay, Argyle shows up. They leave the scene, which to me seems like I don't think you could.
Yeah. That's always in every action movie. It's like, we just killed 80 people. Everything's blown up. I'm going home.
Yeah.
They're
Like,
with
no.
him. Like
Well,
John
Argyle?
cleared him.
Yeah, but I mean, John could be. It doesn't matter. It seems like there'd be a lot of questioning and paperwork and so much to do.
Yeah.
But he's just like
They
we
take
got
him to
a
the
limo.
hospital.
Yeah.
They check them out. All this stuff would
They
happen.
need like
but
an AIDS test. Did you see their makeout scene after?
Oh my
Like,
god!
He was covered in blood, and she just basically licked his face. Like,
Oh man,
hot, man.
the days before
Kinky.
social distancing, right?
That's what I thought when they're having the Christmas party and everyone's hanging out. I'm like, wow, that looks like fun.
Yes.
People hanging out.
That's why there's only 35 though. They had to be under that 50 people limit.
Oh, that's
See,
right.
that's right.
I was like, multiple people in one room. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Nobody's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
People are having fun, living their life.
Yeah.
Weird.
Different time in the 80s, man. Different time. Yeah.
Fucking medieval Stone Age.
Let It Snow comes over the speakers. Credits. They ride off into the sunset with Argyle.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the movie. That's the end of the movie. Are you glad you picked this movie?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Okay. All right. Then let's get into final thoughts and ratings. Mike,
Ooh, I get to go first.
you do get to go first. I feel like it's been a while since you went first.
I have not gone first in a long time.
What did you think about Die Hard?
It's a great movie. I seriously feel like I've never seen the whole thing, even though I've watched it a ton of times. It's a solid 4.9.
Oh, seriously?
No, I'm gonna give
I was gonna
this
say,
like,
geez.
I'll give it a 7.5. I think it's a great movie.
Okay.
I'll give you 7.5
All right.
centimeters.
Typically, I prefer the person who pick it to go last, but I want
person
to
who
go
pick it.
Person to pick it. The person. I prefer the person who picks it to go last, but I want to go last this time. I feel like I have probably the most I want to say about this stupid movie. And Russell, so what do you have to say about Die Hard?
You know, it lived up to its name. You want it to be over, but it just died hard.
It really did.
You know, about an hour in, I'm like, let's go. But no, I like the movie. I think we should do the other 3.
There's like 6.
What?
There are a lot of them.
Yeah.
No,
I would
thought
actually-
they stopped at 4.
I
Did
don't
they make
think-
number 5?
I think they made more. I would actually like to compare this to Lethal Weapons because they're both really
I
good.
don't think I've seen the Lethal Weapon movie.
I also don't think I've seen Lethal Weapon.
Interesting. Okay, well maybe next season. Maybe next season. Okay, Russell, come on, continue.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good movie. You know, obviously a lot of issues that every action movie seems to have. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna stick around where Mike is and say about a 7.
Ooh,
It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
interesting. Okay, so let me talk about the stupid movie. Okay.
Wow.
I can see why it's picking up traction for being a Christmas movie. I'm actually on side with Mike here of why it's taking so long because this is legit a Christmas movie.
It is.
It's not one for the whole family, of course. You know, you got violence, you got blood. extreme brief nudity and some suggestive scenes, but nothing that bad. So
what every family needs.
Yeah,
Just some boobies.
So I think that's maybe why it's not super Christmassy.
What, you saying boobies aren't Christmassy?
Oh, it depends if like those stupid Rudolph boobs that people do. You ever seen
Rough
those?
boobs?
Rudolph.
them rough boobs.
You
are
never
Christmassy.
seen those stupid Rudolph boobs or whatever?
No.
We're like,
You're saying
oh my god, dude!
Why are you checking out reindeer like that, bro?
No, this was like a thing like a year or two ago.
Isn't Rudolph a dude?
We're like,
He
I don't
can still
know.
have boobs.
Okay, let me sidetrack here. They've been doing this thing where like women like flop out a boob on their sweaters and they dress it to look like Rudolph.
Oh, I think I have seen that.
I've not seen
Well,
that.
you are missing out. No, actually,
Apparently.
it's really stupid looking. It's like I want to like it, but I just can't. No,
You still, you still turn and stare at it as you walk by.
yes. Oh, yes. I love that part. And that's the thing. Like there
Twice.
are. Yeah, I know. There are some realistic moments in this movie because it's like it seems kind of comical. His life is in danger, but as he's walking by that nudie picture, he still looks. I think people would. That's the thing. Like 90% of this movie, I think, really is truly played off, kind of, in an action movie way,
Yeah.
realistic. There's some over the top moments, of course, and like some things where they could have definitely done better. A couple of minor flaws, but all in all, I love this movie. I've never seen this movie before in its entirety. I've only seen bits and pieces. This is a really good movie. Yes, it is 2 hours and 12 minutes. It's a very long movie. However, I watched it in installments because I had a lot going on this week. So I watched half an hour one time. Did not seem like a half an hour. Half an hour a second time also did not seem like a half an hour. And then when I watched last hour and like 12 minutes or whatever, they went by pretty quick. So even for being a long movie, it doesn't seem like it's a super long movie.
Yeah, I know. When you watch that, like 2 times speed, it seems even less.
I love how you watch certain movies at 2 times speed. That cracks me up.
The weird thing is, once you're like halfway through, you don't even notice anymore.
That
You
is
get
so
so
weird.
used to it, and
That
it
is so
just
weird.
seems normal.
Do what you gotta do, man. Do what you gotta do.
I feel like I need to start doing that, but I don't know if I can do it.
I feel like in certain movies, don't you lose out on comedic timing?
No, like I said, your brain just puts it together. It's fine. You don't even notice.
Okay, so I am gonna give this movie 8.5.
Ooh.
Yeah, I really did like this. I purposefully, like I told you guys, wanted to point out the things I hated about it because it's a good movie. We could have probably talked about all the good scenes like for a long time, but yeah,
I feel like a lot of your points on that 8.5 come from it just being an 80s movie. Automatically gets extra points.
8s for 80s. 8 points for 80s movie, and then 5 points because it was a good movie. 0.5 points. I don't know numbers,
13 out of 10.
decimals, math. Just forget it. That brings us to the end of this week's episode, you guys. Thanks so much for spending your Christmas here with us. We hope you had a good time. And remember, this show is 100% listener supported, so if you like the show, consider subscribing. We'll be back after the new year with Season 3. Have a happy and safe holiday from the Rewind Guys. We are tied up here, 1-1. Mike, it is now still on to you. Hey, stop trying to cheat. Oh. You probably couldn't read my writing anyway. It's like chicken scratches. In Home Alone,
Oh, no.
where does Kevin's family go for Christmas? Is it Berlin, Germany, Paris, France, New York City, or Los Angeles?